Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Patsy Reddy, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Sir David Gascoigne.
Thank you very much. Please take a seat again. I ngā mana, i ngā reo, i ngā iwi o ngā hoe whā. Tēnei aku mihi mahana ki a koutou. Nau mai, haere mai, ki te whare kawana. Kia ora tātou katoa. I specifically acknowledge Rhys Jones, Chief Executive of Fire and Emergency New Zealand, our kuia Mrs. Ranui Narimu, our kaumātua Mr. Joe Harawira, tēnā koutou. And I have a very special welcome for today's honour recipients. It's a great pleasure to host this investiture ceremony and bring together 10 honour recipients, along with their family and friends, to recognise the contributions they've made to our nation. As Governor-General, I have the authority and the privilege, on behalf of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of New Zealand, to hold investitures for her and to confer royal honours, our nation's highest honours, on individuals who've made exceptional contributions to our communities and our nation. Hosting an investiture ceremony is one of the most important duties I perform as Governor-General because it enables me to recognise and thank them on behalf of all New Zealanders for helping to make Aotearoa New Zealand a better place to live. Some recipients have a national public profile. Others will be well known in their particular communities, but what they have in common is the positive impact they've made on the economic, social, environmental or cultural well-being of our nation. Catriona McLeod will now read the citations for each recipient and invite them to come forward to receive their insignia. As each recipient comes forward, I invite you to join me in thanking and congratulating them for their service to our country.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Professor John Nacey of Wellington for services to health and education. Professor John Nacey was appointed to the New Zealand Medical Council and as chair of the Education Committee, led the development and implementation of significant changes to pre-vocational medical training in New Zealand. He was chair of the New Zealand Task Force on Prostate Cancer and then became chair of the programme to implement the task force's recommendations. As a lecturer at the University of Otago, he chaired the Faculty Curriculum Committee. He was Dean of the Wellington School of Medicine and supervised a major building programme to improve the school's facilities. He oversaw the opening of the School of Radiation Therapy on the University of Otago Wellington campus. Professor Nacey is a leader of the Wellington Prostate Brachytherapy Group and has chaired reviews of the New Zealand Cancer Registry. Professor John Naseby, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Alastair Spearling of Greytown for services to the state and the community. Alastair Spearling worked for the Department of Social Welfare in various roles for 27 years. He founded the New Zealand Parole Board and was its manager until his retirement, growing the board's capacity to manage more than 9,000 hearings every year. He set high standards to ensure that all victims were well informed and treated with compassion and respect. He is a Pacific representative for the Association of Paroling Authorities International and has been a consultant to several overseas parole boards. He was a founding member of the Wairarapa United Football Club, served as a coach and senior administrator, and is a life member. Mr. Spearling is a member of the South Wairarapa Working Men's Club and was an elected member of the Kuranui High School Board of Governors. Mr. Alastair Spearling, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Georgina Bayer of Wellington, for services to LGBTIQA+ rights. Georgina Bayer is a politician and performer who has broken unprecedented ground for transgender people. She was elected to the Carterton District Council in 1993 and elected mayor in 1995. She served 2 terms as a Member of Parliament for Wairarapa. She was the world's first transgender mayor and first transgender person to be elected to parliamentary office. She served on several government committees and supported the Prostitution Reform Act 2003 and the Civil Union Act 2004. She has delivered presentations at international conferences and was a board member of the New Zealand AIDS Foundation. Prior to her career in politics, Ms. Bayer was an openly transgender actor and performer. Ms. Georgina Bayer, please come forward. Mrs. Mary Ann Bishop of Wellington for services to the union movement and the community. Mary Ann Bishop was a nurse for more than 30 years. She joined the Service and Food Workers Union, SFWU, in 1997, became a union delegate. In 2009, she was elected to the SFWU National Executive and later became Central Region President. After SFWU's merger to form A2, she sat on its national executive for 3 years. She's been actively involved in many union campaigns. She is a member of the Pan-Pacific Southeast Asia Women's Association and president of its Wellington area group. Mrs. Bishop has been part of the National Advisory Committee on the Employment of Women and a representative at the International Women's Caucus. Mrs. Mary Ann Bishop, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an honorary member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dr. John Hellemans of Christchurch for services to triathlon. Dr. John Hellemans was a competitive triathlete from the 1980s until 2018. He was the World Masters Triathlon champion 8 times and represented New Zealand at the Commonwealth Games and at a number of World Championships. He has coached many successful triathletes and fostered New Zealand's global reputation in the sport. He's been a medical director for Triathlon New Zealand and Athletics New Zealand and a medical officer for sports academies, training centres and New Zealand triathlon teams. He is a widely published author on sports medicine, altitude training and triathlons. Dr. Hellemans is a life member of Triathlon New Zealand and established New Zealand's first triathlon academy. Dr. John Hellemans, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mr. Joe Headley of Nuhaka for services to the community. Joe Headley was the president of the Mahia Boating and Fishing Club. He was instrumental in having CCTV cameras installed in the Mahia area and was involved with the development of the Mahia Boating and Fishing Club headquarters. He is a member of the Mokotahi Hall Committee. He's voluntarily contributed to the maintenance of the Mahia Golf Club greens. He was a fundraiser and planter for Mokotahi Hill Restoration Planting. He volunteered for St John Ambulance Service and was a committee member of the Wairoa Lions Club. Mr. Headley is a member of the Mahia Volunteer Fire Brigade. Mr. Joe Headley, please come forward. Ms. Donna Kennedy of Wellington for services to people with disabilities. Donna Kennedy has volunteered for Wellington Riding for the Disabled for 17 years and served 2 terms as president. She serves on the Wellington Riding for the Disabled WRDA committee and is a volunteer coach and mentor. She was project manager for the arena rebuild. She was the driving force behind the WRDA's relocation, playing a key role in the acquisition of land at Battle Hill and more than $1 million in donations from charitable funders. Ms. Kennedy is a trustee for the NZRDA Perpetual Members Fund and was a board member of New Zealand Riding for the Disabled. Ms. Donna Kennedy, please come forward. Mr. John Kennedy Good of Wellington for services to the community. John Kennedy Good is chair of the Wellington Night Shelter and president of the Wellington Area Council of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. He chairs the Society's National Social Justice Committee. He is a Red Cross refugee support volunteer. He helped found and is a trustee of the Ella Sophia Charitable Trust. He was a board member and chair of the Laura Ferguson Trust. He was president of the Wellington Regional Asthma Association. He has chaired several school boards of trustees. Mr. Kennedy Good is a trustee of the Christchurch Cottage Museum Trust and Wellington Catholic Homes Trust. Mr. John Kennedy Good, please come forward. Ms. Lisa Mclaren of Masterton for services to climate change advocacy. Lisa Mclaren is national convener of the Zero Carbon Act campaign for Generation Zero, a non-partisan youth-led climate organisation that advocates for a carbon-neutral Aotearoa. She and her team developed and campaigned for the Zero Carbon Act, the draft of which went through the parliamentary process during 2019. She's attended several United National climate change negotiations and is a board member of Track Zero, which promotes convergence of climate change education and the arts. Ms. Mclaren has been one of 15 next-generation influencers with the Our Land and Water National Science Challenge and is currently completing her PhD. Ms. Lisa Mclaren, please come forward. Mrs. Lynn Gilbert-Smith of New Plymouth for services to dance education. Lynn Gilbert-Smith has been teaching dance for 50 years and established the Lynn Gilbert Dance Studio, now LGS Dance, at age 16. LGS Dance currently has 280 students, which Mrs. Gilbert-Smith oversees with the assistance of her teachers. She's been a committee member of the New Plymouth Competition Society for 30 years and is convener of the festival's ballet and jazz component. She is an examiner and adjudicator for national competitions and examinations. She established the Gilbert-Smith Trust to assist dance students through fundraising. Mrs. Gilbert-Smith has been a choreographer for the New Plymouth Operatic Society. Mrs. Lynn Gilbert-Smith, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
Our honours system is our nation's highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces values and behaviours that sustain our communities and help our nation thrive and prosper. These include service, courage, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of knowledge and excellence. By using their talents to make ours a better society, whether by service to their communities or their leadership in diverse fields of endeavour, or their commitment to excellence in their own area of expertise, our recipients have set a fine example to others. To the recipients, it's been a privilege to hear your stories today. You've demonstrated determination, commitment, and compassion in your daily lives. In your own way, each of you has helped make Aotearoa New Zealand a better place to live. In some cases, your influence and the positive impact of your work has extended beyond our shores. Your actions and the stories we've heard bring to mind the words of the recently deceased Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she said, "If you want to be a true professional, you will do something outside yourself, something to repair tears in your community, something to make life a little better for people less fortunate than you." That's what I think a meaningful life is, living not for oneself, but for one's community. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I thank you for all you have done to help our communities and our nation, whether by dedicating your lives to the public good, achieving distinction in your chosen field, or inspiring others with your leadership. Please wear your insignia with pride, knowing that your contributions are recognised and valued, and others are inspired by your example. Thank you. That almost brings to a close the formal part of today's ceremony. But before we break for refreshments, I wonder if you'd all stand and join me in singing our national anthem.